What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? Noah Gray here, tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to Josh's channel and check out showmefootball.com for more.
What is going on, Chiefs Kingdom? Welcome back to another video on my channel. My name is Josh Fan of showmefootball.com and arrowheadaddict.com. And today, following the aftermath of the Kansas City Chiefs 21-20 loss to the Detroit Lions on opening night, I wanted to dive a little bit more into the Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver core after their abysmal performance against Detroit. But more specifically, I wanted to talk about wide receiver Skyy Moore. Of course, you guys watch the game. You know that the Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver core was just terrible last night. It was by far the worst position group on the field. They were dropping passes everywhere. Kadarius Toney, Rashid Rice even had a drop. The offense just could not get anything sustained in the passing game. We could reasonably expect this offense to take a step back without Travis Kelce being there. And maybe I'll make a video in the future talking about Travis Kelce not being there and kind of the long-term concerns, as we got a glimpse of what life without Travis Kelce could look like in the future. But that's besides the point. I did not expect the wide receivers to be that bad, though, as they were without Travis Kelce on the field. I did not expect the offense to be that stagnant without Travis Kelce, and I don't want to overreact too much because it was the first game, and we have to acknowledge that this is a young wide receiver group. But if there was one player in particular that I was extremely disappointed in last night, it was Skyy Moore. Coming into this season, a lot of people were saying that Skyy Moore was going to take this big step. And it's not impossible that he still could. But last night was not an encouraging sign. Brett Veach and Andy Reid even talked about multiple times about how they see Skyy Moore as a guy that is going to take on a much bigger role in 2023. They have a lot of expectations for him this year. One of the biggest reasons that they didn't make a bigger splash at wide receiver was because they have faith in Skyy Moore. Yet, last night, against the Detroit Lions, Skyy Moore had 0 catches for 0 yards. And that is extremely concerning to me, because if there was ever a game for Skyy Moore to make an impact, it was last night when they didn't have Travis Kelce. There were so many reasons why Skyy Moore was set up for success last night. First of all, again, Travis Kelce was not there. That opens up more targets for a guy like Skyy Moore to get involved. Secondly, Skyy Moore is a second-year receiver, and when you look up and down the Chiefs depth chart, he's actually one of the more experienced wide receivers in this offense. So he should be a guy that has more than 0 catches for 0 yards. Skyy Moore is coming into his second year with the Kansas City Chiefs, guys. Like, he's not a baby anymore. He should have a more commanding role in this offense. And based on last night, I'm not seeing anything that makes me optimistic about Skyy Moore. One of the biggest concerns that I had with Skyy Moore was that he just didn't really do anything as a rookie. And even, look, I get there's this trope that rookie wide receivers in Andy Reid's offense don't really do all that much. But even with guys like Tyreek Hill and McCole Hardman when they were rookies, there were those moments with them. Those moments that made you go, wow, like that's why the Chiefs drafted this guy. He's going to be really good. We didn't see that from Skyy Moore in 2022. We just didn't. He didn't have many big games. He had one good game against the Los Angeles Chargers when a bunch of other players got hurt, and he was just kind of the next man up. But he didn't really do anything. He had less than 300 receiving yards. He had about 20-something catches. Like, he didn't do much. And so everyone was like telling me, just wait for Skyy Moore. Like, be patient. His time is coming. Andy Reid, Brett Veach, the Chiefs organization, they said Skyy Moore is coming. And last night just was not an encouraging sign, man. It just wasn't. The track record of wide receivers having less than 300 yards receiving as a rookie and then exploding onto the scene in year 2, it's not great. And that was a concern that I already had for Skyy Moore. And then it's like, if you're not going to produce in that game against the Detroit Lions, who were one of the worst defenses in the league last year, you didn't have Travis Kelce, so this wide receiver room was begging for somebody to step up. You've had a year in this offense, and you go out there and you have 0 catches for 0 yards. And Mahomes even targeted him a few times. He just struggled to corral the ball. He had a bad drop over the middle, and then that 4th and 25 play, like that was a catchable ball for Skyy Moore, and he couldn't bring it in. And many people believe that Skyy Moore's strengths are his ability to get open and his strong hands. And I'm just not seeing that translate onto the football field during the games. And if you go back and watch his tape from college, he was a guy that didn't have blazing speed or anything, but had a knack for getting open, and he had very reliable hands. And yet he can't seem to get much separation at the pro level. And then last night, he couldn't really seem to catch the ball. Now, to be fair to Skyy Moore, none of the receivers could really catch, but I'm especially disappointed in Skyy Moore, and the alarm bells are starting to ring a little bit for me when it comes to Skyy Moore. I mean, even Rashee Rice, who's a rookie this year, already seems to be higher in the pecking order than Skyy Moore. Rashee Rice was more productive than Skyy Moore. I believe he had more targets than Skyy Moore. If not, maybe it was about the same, but I'm seeing Rashee Rice show more in his first game as a Chief than I really saw from Skyy Moore at all as a rookie. Skyy Moore didn't even have a touchdown last regular season. Rashee Rice had one in his first game. There was absolutely nothing holding Skyy Moore back from making an impact in last night's game. And yet, when you look at how bad the entire Chiefs wide receiver core was, Skyy Moore could not separate himself at all from the pack. He could not stand out in a positive way. And you just got absolutely nothing from him. And I'm starting to get a little bit worried. Is it a week one overreaction to say that he is a bust? Maybe. But the alarm bells are ringing for Skyy Moore. Eventually, you have to show something. You have to give fans a reason to be optimistic that you're going to be a good receiver in this league. And we're yet to see that from Skyy Moore. We haven't seen it from Skyy Moore, man. And I'm wondering when we're going to see it if it didn't happen last night against the Detroit Lions. So that's my take on Skyy Moore among the Kansas City Chiefs wide receivers. But I want to hear from you guys. How worried are you guys about Skyy Moore? Are you ready to call him a bust already? Or are you still giving him a chance? I want to hear from y'all. How concerned are you? You can even let me know on a scale from 1 to 10. I'm curious. But with all that being said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe so more Chiefs fans can find this. Make sure you check out my merch, which should be linked along with this video. And it's also on the channel. And then make sure you check out my work on showmefootball.com and arrowheadaddict.com. And I will see you all in the next one. Go Chiefs!